Abija for ya da mo asem atwan ya me adan ye ho akwaba na ye fie dai die mpuni mpubre na edri so no mame enda kuyaskis ase papa ewo me African we fefefe ya wapam amami o fie na wo kan for me ameda ase nanso kai say wo bi ada roma kuyaskis ene pam hye me da na sibi mame kwa befa so obeda na sibi amame ne se obekọ ne ho na wo so waje wo die African we bia wo peno occasion bia de ubenya e honom de wode ko ayfro bi de wode ko abedin to bi de wode ye wo walk about keke ana beach nyina de owo me hu ne casuals a emu efe pa ne nyina eye kuyaskis enti se wo pese ye mfa African we said the friend no alataya for say Ankara designs ye mfa mpempama wa enko baby a kokuyaskis or ACP Estate Junction ewo enkran ha na betumi afre ni 020 836 4729 020 836 4729 wo hwehwe no so a Instagram and Facebook owo kuyaskis KUYASKIS ninsano fefe pa mame Emma ASI Dorcas Johnson of Ghana Immigration Service Wager Command happy birthday ASI Dorcas Johnson of Ghana Immigration Service Wager Command ene wa woda enti woba Tina Emma happy birthday osinyami shraw na onye wa koma so ade nyina Emma Doris ye taifre wo mafia wo konongo Uye adwuma ewo James Palace Beauty Salon ewo Konongo ene ye wa woda enti yenua be ma ya o mensa se o ma happy birthday osinyame enhira papa pa ene mpunu wa wonim se efri dwoda ebesi efieda anaya wadampo ensem no de ebumfum papa edi ahimi adencheche edwada no ade besi ya wada no amanyofo betutumu bebrumu a kade ombeka na afedru fieda no a na enimdifo a womo so ehoye womo field no womo edi womo so nimdie ni womo nchiremu abreyen enunti na se binada ukiada ye discussion na mo so pamina ya find this men fan pipi ma misesesen womo na moto aba na womo na womo hwe wo man so enti munya abotre mu omo senti afa experts ne bra si bibia wo ne mre enya sa na o senkanfo ka enti fieda eye experts ne mre na enene na wo twe ya ba be ye mpuni mpu ye wie akọ enokra nso kra no ne ye ka arise Ghana for them ene sabre nimpo insusuya na mampenda da John Dramani Mahamadi aba aban hwe no wonka no kranche omanfo onye senchi consensus omunkwa IMF omunyese ye no so ye ne animdifo di ho komo wie ya ye sori ko ya mame besi nsu anto awie amo afedi ebeye wie gina mu honum ye hwe akrata na aben yesi mampenisi wahyese eso afo hwe sikasem ntoto yeso hwe na woni IMF no eninkita ho enti afedie eno asemnani debate na hyase asemnani debate ni na hyase da ben ye ba ni say we die da bi we die na die hwamo me ensasi form die no ye bi de enti free me da ne die enie news magazine programs ni nyina sa IMF edwada na ho nkomo ebi na da si IMF no kro mo aba ukwado mu ni aban be hia na je say mo hyehye woda mu na mo de ba na asese ebisima mu nsuro na de kura fe ni ebedi nkomo no ebisi anka wose woni omanfo no dwen ho wonye stakeholder den aban se mutum bo na fe kura ne ani omu kodi nkomo se ana muni omu kodi nkomo no sesai ho am kura na ekodi animu akodi nkomo no tinanum ho ye beti se mampani na ekodi animu anu so ebisi ana mampani no ye economics na economics fo no kura hu kotoku amfa kura jim debi won peti mu foforo no mu ni anim ebi kura se finance minister wadi ehwam won resign ene wonye te said Boris Johnson aye na de yi de won resign so ne mampani pam no msi debi mampani to me pam no hwe ni nua no wati moje mu edu chen so msi debi abande emfa moje mu edu aye nkomo se ya abebre enti ene yaba economist for no na so ye ne omu ba bedi nkomo ebi muso da so gina say really ye hia se ebeko ani eno pani ba ko na me ne bonkomo Dr. Steve Mantio si me so me policy analyst me dadam me so ma yenhwehwe mu mama mu 17 bullet points sa ban so yes anya me ya ehia so obekọ IMF tie na ye bi mu wo nsusu ye say ye betumi aye fie de omo brofo omo say homegrown policies and strategies ye betumi aye ama ye adwuma adan ebi mu show say wanhwe a wo bekoi ye say weye ma wonye ebi mu kra kan ye aban hyehyɛ ya wodo no fie SHS ho beka planting for food and jobs ho beka school feeding ho beka debende niama bebre ho beka aban so se munya abotre na me so minim de ye mamo enti me ko in your best interest at least ana Minister of Information Kojo Ponkroma enso aka kye economist no so ehu ne sen Dr. Nene Adams Asafotei okay medasi mira Dr. Nene Adams Asafotei senior economist ewo UPSA enanopei hene ne bompunimpu no doc ye mo achen dase mami ni kan fa ke biati nto se mo amuti din na mo hu se enkran wom enti nkran kakra brofo kakra ena twi kakra enti ne doc be ye ni se obe ni futufra ne mom twi ni be doso se brofo ne doso kakra na matwe na bakwam se doc so mo say economics no say wo kan twi bi a wunya twi ne mfa nhihyi but munyere mo hu na no anya ye tone se ne boy ye sen ye di anu yai munya ni sana ye maame no so enti ase bi enti doc akwa babiem ejuso doc wo de wo economist enti wo kiki ye hye wo no sononko enya amanyofo de ni bi na wotwi mu yaka ni yakwa IMF aban a chen se niama wo ma yakọ IMF ni beba so na so maame papa bra artisan na wo no wote kwa ho a de nu ase yakọ IMF bi si IMF ni nyenti amafo se aban koye den wo ho chire nipa na se no nti ase se yesi yakọ IMF a edenti na aban se esese me kọ IMF ana o manfo me kọ IMF
yo yeah.
Yes, doc.
Medasi.
Mr. Medasi.
Michia UTV viewers. Any Ghanaians in
good
morning. First of all, my bomodin say English no me di chief yeah. Call.
Thank you.
IMF no. You can who say IMF no then IMF no or a bank.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
A bank. Now so sa bank no on first come individuals or the sikama countries.
Okay.
Now so sana before so obema usikano you have to be a member.
Okay.
So IMF only deals with countries
and not even governments. Yes, can't say aban but on mine. Okay.
Okay. And what happens is that, say we a member of the IMF, or making sure say we monitor a DBA we, and they sometimes have representative office in your country.
Okay.
And they monitor whatever is happening. Say, upe se ube kose ube kwa koji loan, una ube then ube apply.
Okay.
You do the application.
Okay.
Or more processes.
Okay.
So would the application kwa or move here say kafra application I would buy yen here mo na mema yen here mo.
Okay.
So if they decide that they are not going to accept your application, then you go back to your drawing board and start to do your own thing. Now say omu decide this say yes, we will respond to your request or we'll take your request. Then you come and do a proposal.
Okay.
Proposal ni say no senior me economy no senior etie say na ye pesika say na ye mfa ye say.
Okay.
Sika ye pe no say wudi mayen say ni na ye be den ye be use sika no. Okay. I'm trying to
break it down. Now, because mommy not teach you no. This week in I can't buy quite me for my consultant and I am for no then or buy qua and into a problem no. And teacher say, well, you see a crabia. or mang.
Exactly.
Now no mang no one fasika man crown cre. Or the man on maya or muye kubanti. I say drum for no more cooperative.
Exactly.
And two can cooperative no ho dia. O se me watch me. Or no on sorry man me can't say me who so much.
Exactly.
But ya tin so say ban so I me funu kra say ye hu say mo ho kire mo amoba ye bebo am. And no ya na entisa. This is why as a state and as all mine, umom na obekwa aka se mihiamwa
inti mi pese mumwa. Okay. Inti se ekonisa would proposal beko.
Okay.
Ombehwe mu. I am a board. Ombehwe mu say okay. Proposal ya Ghana di bae no. Say na etie how is it? What is contained in the proposal?
Okay.
And then they will respond back.
Okay.
And ask you that, no, this one that you said you're going to do, we want you to do it this way. We want this to be that way.
Okay.
Throughout.
Okay.
It is our response, no? It will be part of what we call conditionalities. IMF conditionalities are kai. Se kafra uko jilona. What can bank? Maybe a
best point savings and loans.
You know, that's your people. You know. So, upe be say 10,000. Would the buy business? Baby say business buy.
Okay.
Then you say, oh, mi kwa koto inyama wa hase.
Okay.
Na mi di kwa koto meton.
Meton.
Umbe fie se uton inyama no be say 10 cedis a ube ton wa ube kwa koto ahi. And then how much you make out of it. And if you are able to do that, will you be able to pay?
Okay.
Inti, this is simple. Right. Inti, so mu this 10,000 ibema udia. Umbe kanchira say, okay, so mu here say, hey, bia, unye that liquid crap. Umbe kanchira say, sasi kano, umu fa maun. Umu di bema, bebi ukwa koto adieno. Inti se ukwa koto adieno from say, a wholesaler. Umbe kia sasi kano ma wholesaler no. Na wako ho, na wako ji ugus. Wabeton. Wabeton so umbe make sure say saska no umba ji wo ho e de kwa koto wa account mu.
Okay.
Inti this procedure ye ka ho asem wo market level no sa na tie wo that level so.
Okay. Inti conditionalities o mo ka ho asem say you sure say yen sha asem fi hampo. Ghana is here say ye tie aban say me kwa IMF ni nyina ne say wo kobosia bo
ye kwakobobusia
ye kobobusia na ono ana sori ko ye se bank mame bosia me kam ho if ya bo ahia to me ho akere me ti mame bosia afei enye IMF no na omo be hyehye se ye we umomu na wo de unsusu ye begu nkrata so akọ
edi kwakoma ho
okay
inti so wo di ko a omo be hwe mu. And then they will tell you that no, do this, do that, because say me can't.
So then they don't give conditionality.
You send your proposal. Okay, normally you as a country.
But proposal and then the womb.
Okay, say umbeka say me account no send it here.
Okay.
Yeah, expenses. Yeah, spending say wo Office of Government Business.
Okay.
Yeah, say yeah the workers in car.
Okay.
You know, yeah, spending say well, let's say maybe free education.
Okay.
Those major expenses.
Okay.
And then this is how we also make our money. Where do you get your taxes from? Okay. How much does this tax revenue give you? How much does that one give you? They will state all of it.
Okay.
And then we say that, oh, sir, yeah, here's scano, maybe normally no, ska umbe mauno, ebe ko account mu, ana bank yes ana no.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yen fan share won sem. Ti ji so wo account mu ho no mu di atum. Okay.
Okay. Now, omu di be share mu no, umbe pese then di na wudi sa sika no kwakoye. Nti na Honorable Information Minister, Oba Abonti Beka say it is to support balance of payment. Okay. Ahanu mema yen confuse obia. Inti balance of payment no den adie. In fact, it is just like telling me say you are giving me loan and you put it in my current account or you put it in my savings account. Na emwa me mean fire juma but then juma So balance of payment no a country no ni account owo wo amanono say Bank of
offshore,
very good, like the IMF or the World Bank,
okay.
But normally it will be with them.
Okay.
Now almost come manu your friend be SDR, special drawing rights.
Okay.
Now so sir, everyone drawing right no the value of dollar mo.
Okay.
Inti that one the mayen ko.
Okay.
Okay. Inti balance of payment basically all the activities are government as a country they embark on, and it includes all of us. You know that say amanoni, and yes sir, you have to do the transfer through Bank of Ghana. All transfers that leave Ghana go through Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Apart from the IABA obi call baby onu yen pese yen ka ho asem, it's not IABA wo di skip bema obi say on fanko yes anso enye papa.
Okay.
Until all transactions go to Bank of Ghana. That one and other transactions like our gold exports, our timber exports, all the exports, anything, our pineapples, everything that goes, including oil,
okay, it
goes into those accounts. There are three major accounts: the current account, the capital account, the financial account. Omunina wo adia omuyeden.
Nti said to say dia ada na ban kanche ezo COVID ni Ukraine into kwaya and na oko because in the course of the week omo brain omo statements or chair I think for education purposes nti or say final FNQs frequently asked questions as government engages the IMF funded program and no catch reasons why nti a buying echo IMF no my three reasons intimia me say we the doctor ba no wa ba be cheche yimu three reasons no ode o my no o say one COVID, two Russia Ukraine war, three for balance of payment support yes addressing policy challenges following the COVID pandemic and the Russia Ukraine war, so those are even one or the tattoo no bomi and one and we know say balance of payment support and now sabe kan brofo kakraka catalytic effect
okay
enti niema mensa na so so hwema ba ku we balance of payment support idie na che say enya yibia no na enya problem
very good because scan ehwa na
beda
enti na me pese
ana che say sika na bi ni ho nti odi bi tum na mu ayedu
because when we say ya bobusia ebesin like we have taken some loans. Now the loans will be maturing.
Okay.
So loans no mature. As I say, can was our account no.
Okay.
Na yen fa ye den, yen fa ntua.
Yen tua nsi mo ni de say
I say ya default.
Okay.
Na say ya defaulting so dia na enye ye ma ye.
Enye papa. Okay.
So you have to make sure say sika wo ho.
Okay.
Inti sa sika na wo kwa kwajine e baba sa account no. Inti onu dia is not the issue. The issue is whether indeed say COVID and ama ya bedru baby ayedru yi.
Ya beba so.
No say Ukraine war.
Catalytic effect and so ye dey.
Okay, say bia. Let's say things are happening. The friend say global, issues.
Okay.
Say bibi happening wa amano. Inti sa de no impact here because of this and that. So let's say we are here and things are going bad elsewhere, then we say, oh, the spillover effect, affecting amanonu a bit higher, that kind of thing.
Inti COVID na esi amanoni no ebi akaye. Inti Ukraine and Russia to kwane ebi akaye.
Okay.
Inti yesa. And one a catalytic effect no.
Exactly. Something like that. So essentially,
and yet say your brofo no mu ka wa no.
Inti
show pa dia it is their first reason.
That's it. COVID, if you say COVID and Russian war. Inti adia my main aim ni say omu pese omu di brofo be dada ye ndia ye mpenisa. Inti yen hwe na yen ka nokre enchire Ghana man. Now we know what the issues are. The question ye be bisa ni say, is it true say COVID and ama abe yabedru baby ayewoyi and also is it true that Ukraine Russian war
and ami abedru baby ayabedru okay. That was my next question the
answer is yes but not Full.
Dog. Now students say 3 years, but no full. I'll bet
Very
you
good.
too.
What I want to say is that it doesn't tell the full story.
Okay.
It doesn't tell the full story.
I didn't hear.
Okay, because there are things that we have done in the past that did not help our cause. Okay. If you are running an economy, you have to keep an eye on everything.
Okay.
And make sure, say, if you receive 10 cedis, you use the 10 cedis prudently, effectively,
okay,
so that it will do the things that you want it to be done.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so yesterday, I want to take it, I'm not attacking anybody, but what we are doing as a country, whether it's good for us. We came in and we started to do borrowing. You see, I think that largely the economic management team and the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, omu stimulate growth with debt. Yen kwa kobo busia na yen fambe ye den. Yen fambe share economy. Na yen fambe very good.
Okay.
Now so problem I experiencing is say your boss abusia no bibi adia say yen fan ye no yen fan ye. There is something that we call, in macroeconomics, there is something that we call Ricardian Equivalence. Yes, it's a theory that says that if you borrow to pay debt, you borrow to consume, you borrow to finance future debts, and maybe beswa, a bear say, Umubechu. Kafra, Ebia, ye chauka, 2,000. Na within the month, what the best say 5,000. Inti 3,000 unya wahi. Ubo busia asana. We spend here. Next season, we sabi. Ebedu time bia, we see now unya no. The 2,000 that they are paying you cannot pay your debt again until you now be in a trap. When it happens like that, your everything will go down.
Okay.
Inti ye kobo busiano. The way we use the money wasn't proper. Sometimes you can use debt, you can use loan to stimulate growth, but you have to use it carefully.
Okay.
You have to use the money for income-generating ventures.
Ubenya
mfaso also.
Okay.
Na se uko jibusia, edi beye bibia cash flow ni ho, entimi maye profit.
Bibi te saying. Na se aye o man aban so gibusia on fanton hwe
okay
odi be ya kwan odi be ye school
very well
yen so ye de ya ti asese ye budget no fa dodo na ye de tua katua
very well
me asan de tua bosia ne bi so nsi ho
very well
nti eno anu oje a odi ye eden na obetimi di aye se ebe ma no enya mfaso ana so obeto obenya cash flow
okay so we a company we a business. First thing I say when you say revenue eba wa account making sure say you spend within that range. Until like we as Ghanaians, revenue that we get from our taxes from all over the place. As I say, yeah, making sure say we don't spend beyond that, so that when you take loan, the loan will be used for investment purposes. So, for instance, you take loan to construct road. What kind of road? We have to be able to do a road that will be towed.
Okay. And
that toll, the toll money, the revenue that will come from there, as I say, yeah, making sure say, Sasikano, yeah, we will not mismanage it.
Okay.
But we have a situation where even when you tow the road, before you realize this one takes this commission, that one takes that commission, even at the toll booth, you are unable to account for the monies that you call. I'm just giving one example.
Okay.
If we take the money to do road, we should do proper roads that can be towed.
Okay.
So, for instance, we can say that Accra Kumasi, we are doing 3-4 lanes, left and right. If you're driving on that road, we'll charge you maybe 20 cedis, 30 cedis, 40 cedis. And you pay. And you spend maybe 2.5 hours, you'll be in Kumasi. That is the way to go.
Okay.
There are other areas. For instance, government can borrow to do, business hubs. We can say, okay, we are constructing a business hub that companies will operate there and will get tax from them. You can also actually establish factories. Into this kind of ventures, no, it normally would do well with, you know, partnerships. Can say government,
PPP,
private.
Okay.
You can do all these things. So let's say, basic example, say yanya oil.
Okay.
Now yes, sporty crude oil.
Okay.
It is a say no, we want to get plans to actually crack our oil, to refine it. Okay. Into how much a refinery, how much will it cost us to get a refinery? Maybe, depending on the size, a certain amount, 500 million, 1 billion, whatever. Into, with this, you can say that, okay, if you're going to get into private-public partnership arrangement, you can say that, okay, government wants to hold 50%. Any private investor should also bring 50%. Into 50%, you know, say, ye nisika war, yankasa ye reserve, we will go and borrow and
It sounds beautiful. Now, so yeah, yet because the government has no business running a business.
Okay.
If you say, especially wo yenye ha Ghana no, abanye business a enye ye. Omanfo no nku ho nye ne se dia obeya ankra de nti be wi ase no na agu nti best is to niema ye na ankra nkasa own business.
Very well. That is a school of thought. But again, no, it has to do with the extent of involvement of government. So let's say if you have a private, public partnership, what is the level of involvement of government? Say they appoint chief executive, they appoint board of directors, they take control of everything, they pack their people on, in those companies and all of that. It will not work well. But let's say you build this company, you say that straightforward, they should enroll on the stock exchange. They should list on the stock exchange so that people can know whatever is happening. They can buy shares from it. You see, you have to really find a way to open the economy. So all that we are saying is that if you borrow and you come and consume, in fact, even the consumption, you don't consume it well. It's a problem. You see, what is the staff strength of, let's say, the presidency? How many people work in the presidency? How many people work in our ministries? How many people work in our public enterprises? All these things are problems. It is okay for government to provide employment.
Okay.
But if we stock our people there, we just go and pile people up there for purposes of creating jobs for our own people, then it does not help. But in fact, this is just one. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So, we are going too much into one aspect.
Catapult and ports and assassinate the young developer, but it's been 18 months, so you first see you and see you no busumi be a for what job done?
It's unfortunate. So that we are just citing one example.
Okay, we've got a one, no.
That is just one. Then we have situations where, especially the collapse of the financial institutions.
Good say we economists now our job by no say manufo ne kan e ya omo kan it say two extreme sides.
Very good.
Aban crofo say yes aban egu banks no if say na omo nya ade dada ya so omo asen ba ko mienu anye yi omo so omo opposition say mo boa na mo pese mo gu omo keke e na mo gu omo sa exercise no na etesen e boa yin ane high.
Okay, from where I sit, baby, I meet and say, I think, sir, because here about 25 billion Ghana cedis. I don't like mentioning monies like this because sometimes when you mention it, you should see what you have done with that money.
Okay.
For it to benefit the people. But when we go in there, these banks have assets. They have loans that they have given out to people.
Okay.
But you go in there, collapse the banks.
Okay.
And then you said you used 25, I always say you said you used 25 billion to pay for depositors.
Okay.
But one thing that has happened is that out of this, they have paid about, let's say, I'm not having the figures right, but all those people who are owing small monies, they've paid them. And those people, very good. As we speak now, a lot of them, their money is
still like in.
Now, if you look at the banks, now they will need about 9 to 10 billion cedis to restructure.
Banks in Nene.
Banks in Nene. To restructure.
25 billion. And 9 billion.
9 billion and not 10 billion. They can restructure. So, restructure, how do we do this? Say, every bank, we have something at FNU, non-performing loans.
Okay.
Loans are Inti government, obetumi call banks, can say, okay, your non-performing loans, who will take it, your beji sa non-performing loan. Now, Saskano, it comes to the bank. Just like the way we are looking for balance of payment support now. That money now forms your base. It will help you to give out more loans, and then you will also pay your workers. So a host of things. That one was not also done well.
Okay.
When we were moving up, somewhere along the line, we have decided to close our borders.
Very well.
But when we close our borders, how long did we leave the borders closed? That was also an issue.
2 years plus, or a year.
And that's a serious issue.
I think it was more than a year.
Exactly.
Almost 2 years.
Okay. That was an issue because these borders, those are the areas small businesses. They go in and out to do business. They bring small monies into the system.
But na ye bra mampeni ba na say we be no kra na other countries, West African countries be mo so kra mpo me bie. Ye bie ya de ansa na ebi mo so bie. At that time we say ye bie ye kra nka still so asika nkete ebeba na.
No, the point is that when you have a policy directive, send your person obey your idea. If you open up, people will open up with you. Because you see, we are in a sub-region.
Okay.
I'm not getting my facts right, but I think ECOWAS came out to say that, oh, okay, let us open borders.
Yeah, maybe.
But
okay.
Some countries did, some countries did not. Assuming, say, Ghana opened and Nigeria opened, all the West African route is sorted. Now, say, if you don't open, then somebody is also waiting for you to open before they open. These are small things affecting economy. I am not even talking about what the popular ones like corruption, mismanagement. Those ones, they are there.
And also come home.
Inti infosua ansa na ye bedru ha no edoso.
Okay, inti se oti ebi na omo kan say, well, even Russia and Ukraine and Tokano Krano. Eshase breben enye enu nko na ama ye dru ha because in any case Russia acquisition Ukraine so in February.
Very well.
Na yen so earlier January no na fetch any Moody's omo share economy no more than more e ka say oh mo pick oh mo ya de mo ye say no e ka say earlier in January no on be ka say oh there be your economic growth and shut down koyenti at free B+ no cry ye wono ya ba form e ma finance minister ye say o make sure come on mo say me ya appeal say bi o ma anye ni ye nti o ma hu ni ye but internet just o mo ti abonten no o mo hu say bibi enkoyie papa as a economy not ba form.
Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, say the IMF, World Bank, you can call International Finance Corporation or the international financial institutions or more information where you information. They track our performance and everything.
Okay.
Because everything, our transactions is what actually speaks for us. Whatever happens inside Nidia war, within the economy itself is just small. But how much do we trade with other countries?
Okay.
What is our position in terms of reserve? What is our current account balance position? Where is money coming from? Scanner balance, how do we use it? They have a better bird eye view over the economy than we ourselves.
Indeed, COVID ne Russia and Ukraine to kwa yinkwan ase enu nya enu na ama yedru baby ayedru. I
am saying say yeah manage the situation well no anka COVID any Russian war ain't me in party yes but it is something like we were already in distress and then these things come to hit us, but that's also economic management. There's no way you can be sure that oh, this will happen tomorrow, so let's do this. In fact, because of that, previous, establishments have created some funds. Okay. Like the sinking fund, like the heritage fund, and all of these things. So you name the basic china. Inti BBC. Inti ne what's her funds fancy woha. Inti udie funny simple say, hey, be your fee, you and your family. You know that the total earning for the family is 10,000 cedis. Nanso mo nim senya ebia ochina asembe banti mo set aside ebia say 500 cedis every month for a rainy day, a day that things will go bad that you need to fall on that money. Okay. Those ones were set up, but we have actually depleted all those ones. Hey, sinking finance or asinking dada. Asinking dada. Wow. So say no, we don't have any backbone. In fact, when the 2022 budget came out, I did a small write-up, and I said that Ghana very soon will be downgraded. I shared that with... That was in November 2021. That was in November. Okay. It will be downgraded to B minor or C plus or whatever. In fact, what I did not anticipate was that it will come that early. That means, our sickness is serious. Now, budget in the buy now, oh yeah, right up. And then now who ye, and then I know who. Into the man can say, ye better perform. Because the signs are on the wall. The signs are so clear on the wall. You see, when we talk of economic mismanagement, it is a host of things. The things are a lot. You have to be able to identify them. What is our current, reserve position? What is our debt to GDP ratio? What is our deficit position? What is debt to GDP? Be a country, you have your GDP. Your GDP is your total productivity. Okay. Over the period. Yeah, can you say a Juma ya ne a suma ya sum ye canning go can back your GDP no. Inti Kafra say company can say ni balance sheet. Total net assets. Okay. Now ye war a boosting ye bo inti normally no in economics no they will strike the boosting as a percentage of the GDP. Okay. Inti for developing countries no and say based on economic modeling, and say your GDP, our debt to GDP ratio no 40%. Because about 40%, we may end up not being able to pay. But as at you check your services and now you see car, yes, some ye be bia, dear Yano, and say, dear Dequaco to your busiano, and move 40%, the Yan, you move 40% go to your busiano. Exactly. So by the time it is 80-something percent. So it means that that aspect is a problem. Then our inti ye be ye adwuma ni bibia sika ye benya no si enya 100 cedis e be wie ni e betimu be ye 80 cedis 80 cedis na ye de akwakọ hwe ye bosia ho asem aka tina ka ye 20 cedis na saa time no ye ntua salaries ye ye roads ye gutters that nothing good and you not say if you baby na eba exactly enti said ya na unuanom economists ni bi so kan o masem no ene amanyofo na dru ha no ma say where de no masom wo say enti ye wo fundamental problem say very well enye nne na ye how yi be sha say bi say ye di free kwa me nkroma abere so say kwa me nkroma achimpo a ene ya buru musia enti da bia no ye GDP ene ye debt ratio no enkoye by end of 2021, we're around 80%. Then what we call deficit. Deficit ni say this year, you see our revenue, from taxes, from say, is let's say 100,000 cedis. Now, your budget also can say, you best spend this amount of money for the whole year. Say your project is say you 10,000 cedis. Now your expenses for the year you cover say 12,000. Into 20%, 2,000 difference, and no buy then.
You been free
deficit.
I said no buy car.
Now around that time we're going that bad. And call ye.
That was last year, yeah.
Last year.
And interestingly, Sano, so what is a month for Bisasa? It's a sorry preoccupation whose economy in Koye, Tina Fayako, IMF Yana. We say, wow, two school, my which are dear crowd who know. Time I presented 2022 budget,
yes,
which was last year, 2021. And no one said, and she ya, downgrade, and December, January, and ratings nearby no more downgrade. Enti efi January eba no na aban anase omo hwe economy so no omo hu say baby aye ko no yenko yi.
Okay, ade nso ni say if you continue to not tell the truth in a way about the economy, for instance, if debt to GDP aye ka ho asemi e call say 80%, 81, 82%. Now, so we book no some way. Actually say it is 75 or less than that. One say enye
no credit na beded. Inti book no beka say 75. Now so be come ankasa no na ebrosa.
Bia your deficit no. Me ka ho asem say.
Ye kana ye di abroso no. Ya beda chiri no.
The amount of money that we project to earn and the one that we spend, the difference is the deficit. And that is also
abaye yedia abayeka
inti se wo run the economy as I say won can cross say your deficit, this is the true position. Now sometimes no ombetumi project revenue say high because last year how much did we earn in revenue? I think about 57 billion.
Okay.
Thereabout. This year we are projecting 100 billion.
Okay.
That we will earn. And then
because the idea needs to be to say e-levy, for instance. And man said very
good. So we exaggerate revenue projections. Now so expenses in there you continue to spend heavily. What will happen is if you miss your revenue projections, but you even exceed your expenditure projections, which you continue to do anyway, and that's what normally happens. Ube say deficit no be then ebe kosro. Now so from beginning,
o hwe na hu say o meme say me revenue projection it is say ayi wo mi. Ye hu say o ye ka senka 11 no by the end of the year be ma close to 7 billion. Okay. Now I shall say within 2 months, already 6 months akwa ama. And I shall say within 2 months and so ye new target e pese edru. Senti esese che yen say and ye revenue no sika ye hwese yen sabeka no e wo se hu say yen sanka say eba sa akwantin fi say no ye ntimi nya hu bibi say ne ye ya project say ye bedie no ye nko ye hu bibi ana no ye de yen sa kokan be ha gisi ye gyan ni sa na ye di ni sa
onu sa nyama no anu na say ye ka ho ansema e bia amafo ana politicians omuntie na ye kan say efutuo is advice.
Sakra nipa.
Efutu e wo he amafo bi wo ha omuntie mfutu na say in so hwe badia.
Omobefa. I see.
So you see I want to pick the things one after the other small
okay,
so that we understand it.
Okay.
Until that time these ratings came out.
Okay, January.
And the finance ministry almost say that be and yes say na me bisa me say hey until so we are me student na me mark was stripped me ma obey say be a B plus, let's say B minor.
Okay.
You come back and argue that you deserve A.
And so sometimes it can
and then
be done.
We go for remarking.
When you know what you have done, you can go for remarking.
Very good. But especially if you also know your standard,
Okay.
Because as a lecturer, lecturers will tell you the truth. As they are lecturing students, they know those that are capable of getting A.
Okay.
So if I give you mark, of course, I'm not dashing it. It's based on what you have done.
Yeah, what you know.
Then you come and argue that, oh, you think you could have done better, so we should go for remarking. Okay, let's go. The truth of the matter is that if we go for remarking, now the marking scheme will be tighter. Maybe wrong spelling B, I've ignored it, and all of that. Now we look at all those things.
Okay.
It is our time of grading by. It is not the time for us to go and argue, say, we think that they are unfair whatsoever. We should have gotten to the drawing board and do the right things. So what are the right things? I said, sir, the sin that we have committed. It is difficult to even sometimes know where to begin.
But you have to begin anyway.
You have to begin somewhere. Number one is we should have serious physical discipline. Fiscal discipline.
Okay. Okay.
When we say physical discipline, as a government, you have your fiscal policy, how you receive money and how you spend money.
Okay.
It is your responsibility to balance your budget. I wish I'm speaking English so that I can flow well.
I know.
It is your responsibility.
Now their country, mommy.
As I say, we balance your budget. How do you balance your budget? Say we say any 100 billion, and say your expenditure NCD 100 billion. And if you know, say, these 100 billion projections, you are not going to receive it, then it is better for you to make sure that you spend below the 100 billion. Gradually, if you move from one year to the other, you begin to get closer to balancing your budget.
Okay.
That's number one. Physical discipline means, say, if you are using money to do a project, you do it efficiently. You don't go and inflate contracts. You don't go and distribute monies.
Okay.
You have to make sure that you do those things perfectly. Another aspect is also, you see, sir, if you have fiscal policy, you also have something like monetary policy. Now, in economic policy management, let's say the Ministry of Finance and Economic Management team, they are responsible for fiscal policy. Senior Ebenyaska and senior Ebe spend this. Then the monetary aspect is done mostly by Bank of Ghana. As I say, coordination. Say there should be a coordination between monetary policy and fiscal policy. Okay, say Bank of Ghana governor, Ebeka say, taming inflation in Ghana is a difficult thing.
Okay.
Okay. You see, sometimes these are big men. So Penika size say untie. Be a DB woha on to me canning. Pepe. Because there is misalignment between monetary policy and fiscal policy. They at Bank of Ghana, they cannot do much. So sometimes they wait on the economic policy management team to do what they have to do. But if you are unable to coordinate fiscal policy and monetary policy, I hope you are getting my point. Into Bible can say, hey, managing inflation in Ghana is difficult.
Sometimes no can be
or can't try a baby. Now he can't come out to say, hey, this and that and that and that.
Ransom my Fiscal Responsibility Act.
Okay.
Aban krana na bresuya na 8th parliament pass ye. Say enke no why say be ya free recent IMF mu no kaya nsan nkomu bi ya ye be share so say ye di esika no mane bros mpa. I think say enka ye deficit no more than 5%.
Very well.
And so in fin ye set sa act no esi nchen. O hwa na nkan say ye ka say oh pandemic nti me emfa act ni nya adwa na nkan say ye ka ne sa ni say pandemic unyanka omo fa sa Fiscal Responsibility Act emra no nya adwuma won.
The point is that the Fiscal Responsibility Act ayeka ho asemi that act itself has deficiencies. But how deficient it is should not be the problem. The problem should be if you refuse to go by the Fiscal Responsibility Act, what happens? In the Finance Ministry, you see, if you spend money, spend within this limit, and you have to go to Parliament to seek approval, Parliament will look at, the act, what the act says, and says that, oh, they will not approve this, they will approve that, but you go ahead to spend. What happens? If you act that way, then you render the Fiscal Responsibility Act redundant, ineffective, and yejumabia. Okay. I want to say, if we set our target, say, we should act this way, who should act that way? If the person has not or does not act that way, what are the penalties? What, actions will be taken? It is difficult.
Oh, okay.
It is not as if it is not there, but who to implement it?
Okay.
These are the issues. So we are unable to align the two.
Okay.
The last time, His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia said that he has arrested inflation, put it in jail. Yeah, the dollar, put it in jail, locked it, and gave the key to IGP. That's a nice, joke. But I will also say that if only he knows how tough inflation is. Inflation is like the Mexican drug baron. You see that man, they'll put him in jail, but before you realize he's out. It's a very difficult thing to just come out to say that.
Economist say one, he say say inflation.
Yes. So you don't want to make joke with those things because it is not as simple as that. It is really, really difficult. In fact, for me, I would say that where we are going, a bit difficult.
Where we are going, says IMF na economy.
No.
And I the economy ni kosisiano.
A bit difficult. It has gotten to a level, say, we don't really get a hang. Reverse situation. Because me can say info so
okay.
So at this time, we really
but you see let's say you started IMF and Komono. First of all, IMF no automatic na say ye ni o ma hye nkomodiasi ye hwehwe no omo de be man if you say omo free Sri Lanka na no ya omo call ye no omo ni omo anya agreement papa bia nti me kra dem ka so omo yan kwa IMF na na automatic but omo tumi call ba bi na omo reach agreement a e che say enye automatic sa no omo ba ye nkomo a ye die betia ba say IMF o be ka say ye ntumi mo amo ana
Mpacho se u call bank se u ka call bobusia no ubetumi aka say dito mu disgano be ma o se u apply u ka call bobusia wo
bank yeah.
Can you say this money they will give to me?
Ebi am nkrata me de ko na na se omo se omo pe guarantor na warranty na bibia na collateral na me wa enu na be ma me confidence o me the collateral
sometimes try bia wo be wo collateral.
Okay.
Bia you are a good person to the bank.
Okay.
But adia wo se wo discount ka koye no bank no omo ni nji ho.
Okay.
Into scan omo fa ma. Some me person mechanic say it is not automatic. It is a process, it's a procedure.
Okay.
Into so mo babo until be kan say they tell us that let us do this. You remember those days when the ECG PDF thing came
PDS,
up?
yes.
PDS, right?
Yes.
Came up. What if they go back and say, go and restructure ECG? Go and restructure VRA? Go and restructure Ghana Water? Go to SNIT? These are, in my view, some major problematic areas that we need to focus on. When they come and say do these things, will we have the political will and the muscle to do that, that's one thing. We're talking review of a host of policies. Are we ready to do that? If they come right now and they say, okay, the office of the president reduced the staff strength from the current around 2,000 to maybe 800, are we ready to do that? All of these things. Sometimes it will also depend on our negotiations with the fund.
Okay.
And again, we cannot say they go to Sri Lanka, nothing happened. So there is possibility that, yes, the possibility is there.
Okay.
But there has never been an occasion in the history of Ghana that we went to the IMF that
okay. So say remain positive so first of all no see I see some share nkomodi na se a e betimi take as long as 6 months.
Yes.
Nti between now and then economy ne be yeden aban yeden.
So we have to start doing what we need to do.
Okay.
Right now, if we are honest with ourselves, and yes, I say, as we are there, we know what they would want us to do.
Okay.
But will we have the political will to start doing that? As a matter of fact, this is the difference, the issue about going to the IMF.
Okay.
It's not so much about the fact that you are going to the IMF, but what have you done? As a matter of fact, you have your books good, everything okay, and you can still go to the IMF. They can listen to you. You can go for, because their loans are mostly cheaper than, let's say, the bonds that we've been doing. Until if our books are fine, in fact, we can walk confidently and put our document in front of them. At that time, we are giving them our conditionalities because our books are in order. Now, so senior, because we are keeping some things, normally we say footnotes, you know, in small letters. No? So all those things will have to come out.
The idea
Will have to come out. And maybe we are not ready for those things to come out. But essentially, what I'm saying is that we can start doing the things that the IMF would want us to do because we know.
Okay, into Usha, tiny in with this Usha, and then omobe pesa yenya, yensha say the beya, ebema yen common crabia na yen tem, then yen knew this minimum of 6 months, you know. Into so that's a more co-negotiation table now. Then say if you were part of them, and what would be your suggestion? Say how should they negotiate? Okay,
so there are a lot of things to be done, but one first thing that I've always spoken about is that as a country, your ministries, you know, a dorsal.
Ministries in a
ministries are here running. That is the number of ministries that we have, and the number of ministers are a dorsal.
Okay.
My suggestion, and it's a very tight one, is that we should run this country with 23 ministries.
Ministers or ministries? 23 ministries. Okay.
Ministries.
Okay.
And yeah, that includes regional ministers as well. In fact, I said that should come with treatment. This is a small.
And you open a kit to be because 16 out of the 23 will be the regional one.
Okay, so we are no longer going to have regional ministers.
Okay.
We will divide this country into two: Northern Territory, Central Territory, and Southern Territory.
So we'll have 3 instead of 2.
We have 3. The regions will be there: Ashanti region, Central region, Northern region. But we will have one person responsible for Northern Territories. We have one person responsible for Central Territories and for Southern Territories. So already, if you go in there, you have cut regional ministers down by how many? 13.
Now, administratively, not possible.
Because you have district chief executives, metropolitan, what we call MMDCs, mayors, you know, metropolitan and district chief executives. We have them. They can do the job. But I also said, as I said, when we are doing this, we have to look at a couple of things as well. Okay. So if you are going to run the country with 23 ministries. And you're going to cut down the regional ministers to 3.
Okay.
And here, as I say, we should elect our MMDCs. Because if we elect them, then they are more responsible to the people than if they were appointed.
So election up, but the way I need a person elect you on
so let's leave that one aside. Then the ministries, the names, some of the ministries can be put together.
Okay.
And then we have a minister and 1 deputy minister.
Okay.
It does not help us to have deputy minister for this, in charge of this, in charge of that, like 2 deputy ministers, 3 deputy ministers.
Okay.
It doesn't help.
Okay.
Do you know why? Because in every ministry you have directors and chief directors.
Okay.
Chief directors, no, they hold the ministry in their palm. Ministry, nim. Ejumano, Chinobia. In fact, they know what goes on there.
Because ministers need to be crab and so no more chief directors, no.
So we have to get a deputy minister for each of these ministries. These are policy initiatives.
So which of the ministries now
the list is there.
Okay.
I can probably.
So you've even written your article already.
It's here. So on this program, it will not help.
Okay.
You know. So for instance, Agric Ministry, it's there. We have Ministry for.
Let me help you. Aquaculture now. If you are agric and aquaculture,
so we have Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning.
1.
We have Ministry of Defense, Interior, and National Security.
3.
Okay, so these 3 ministries should be put together.
Okay.
Do you know why? It sounds like, hey, it's too big, but if you go to Defense, you have the Chief of Defense Staff. If you go to Interior, you have the IGP. If you go to National Security, you have National Security Director. So these guys who can run these sectors and report to the minister in charge of Defense, Interior, and National Security.
Okay. So
that would be 1 ministry put together.
Instead of 3.
You have these people at the down working.
Okay.
That's like a cabinet.
So that's one example. Another example, Ministry of Income.
You have, let's say, Ministry of AU and International Affairs. That's the Foreign Ministry.
Okay.
To be there. So number 4, Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Standardization. This is important because standardization is a problem in this country. We have a situation where people just move things into this country without any standards. You import things just like that. But if we have standards, it will determine.
GSA for any new Ghana Standards Authority because
yes, so you have to bring them into the limelight.
Okay.
And have policy to support whatever they do. Big
but
one.
But Ministry of Trade but you need Ministry of Standardization and what I say major.
Okay, so
it's a major Ministry of Trade name why any major.
No. So you hold it like that.
Okay.
Because trade is a major area. And
okay.
the components of trade must show in the functions of the ministry.
Okay.
So you are talking of the trade itself, industry, which is industrialization.
Okay.
And then standardization. So you have the trade, the industry, and standards showing in there. So quite a number. Then you have Ministry of Local Government and Rural Industrialization, Finance, Education, Youth, and Sports, Renewable Energy, Oil, Gas, and Power. You see, if you go in there, we have Ministry of Energy, Ministry of this. All of the power ministry will be put together.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we'll have 23 ministries.
Okay.
I am also proposing that we can leave 2 ministerial positions for the president. That is to say that the president can have 2 ministerial appointments and say that, let's say, for special projects. The president wants to do something special, so he will appoint a minister.
You know, we used to have special initiative.
So if that is dear to your heart, you keep it. Ministry for. So we have two. But you see, these things, no, as I say, we have parliament that gives meaning to these policy initiatives. Okay. That is something that we have to discuss and see how that works. So, for instance, the Constitution says that the president can appoint this number of specific ministers for certain ministries. But at the beginning of every sitting of Parliament, Parliament can say that to give meaning to that particular article, the president shall not appoint ministries or ministers beyond this number. You are not violating the Constitution. You are giving meaning to that article in the Constitution. Parliament has to cap that. Oh, it is key. So we take the ministries out. We then come to
I'm waiting.
You see, our problems are a lot. So before we resolve it, we have to be drastic.
Okay.
The other area is budgetary allocation to government business. My proposal is that the allocation that we give to government business should not exceed 35% of revenue. If we do that, going forward, we'll be reducing it to around 25%. And that will help us a lot. How do we do that? The details is there. The next thing that we have to do, as I say, Yem Bomodin say, we will not run a deficit budget. We will not run a deficit budget. So how do we do that? Parliament also comes in. We will say that, okay, we give you maybe 2 years to balance your budget. And at each point in time, there is a law saying that you cannot run deficit. And then, in this case, the Fiscal Responsibility Act comes in.
Okay, to see, I know, say me boy, not chin bamo, profonado so. Say, ye come ministries, ni bibo movia. Yen sign say, a buying sika, obey so obedient. Only man in cobroso. On shema a come mechi. Na Parliament be to me aye ni samano. Say Parliament intimi nye ni santi. Intini ye team sa Fiscal Responsibility Act no. So en camera no ne ne be ka say baby ye tu na koto no. Ye man in shat ye we state team rano no me ye adwuma.
So this time it's not
na so name banka kranka.
Enye partisan asem.
Okay.
Yeah, what we should do to help ourselves as a country.
Okay.
So it is gradual treatment.
Okay, we
have to do these things. So if Parliament has the mandate to put cap on presidential behavior, how the president should be, or if you like, the executive, how they should do things, that way you are running an economy. So Parliament will have to come in and say that, look, this year, these are legislative, instruments that we put in place to direct.
Now, said the Parliament, and it is see a crown age. I'm on for hanging. I'm on I say, Afedi, you who it's a woman can so more yejuma. Said the Parliament in it here no. It's the say, and I'm paying be about Fourth Republic in me. Executive of the day, no, a majority of Parliament, no. On bet me, yes, their work can say. As a omo ye nhweso ahwe executive no yi aban ye say we wuntumi nye ni say we ye ma wonye ni say so omo ne no nyina free party ba kwa say wo mo nhye ne yere ketesa.
So all of that is part of the discipline process that we are talking about. It is, we are at a crossroad, a situation that if say nyina, if we all enter the ditch, it will not help any of us. As a matter of fact, if we don't do these things and we end up, if the economy goes into a nosedive, make say be a economy collapse, it will not help any of us. Now say
collapse, sir.
Inti say economy collapse no say how should you see that the economy is collapsing?
Okay.
Because it's a process.
Okay.
You have situations where inflation is going up day by day.
Okay.
Inflation is a simple thing. You know, the rising in price levels over a period of time. It is say last month we got top bread 8 cedis. This month you see 12 cedis. Next month I call 15 and now 18. I bet me I drew level beer. I bet me I call top bread in the morning 8 cedis, in the evening it will be 15 cedis. Is that what we want? That's a problem.
But okay, say emerging ministries na ya san anya ahosheso we sikadie mu no. Me musa say aban policies ni bi ohono mo nso a obeka say no nso yempone ho ana yenyim fi ho
plenty.
Die hen ne die hen.
Largely, we have had problem with our policies.
Okay.
ABIACA, one district, one factory. You know, free SHS, planting for food and jobs, and all those things. Normally, no, I have realized that these policies, they are mostly like slogans. You know, if you are with the bank develops product lines.
Okay.
Special account for this, all of this. Special women savings account, special investment account for, you know, high net worth people, their products. But if you come into the total portfolio, how much does these products earn for the bank? You see that maybe about 80% of them don't produce anything. Inti, some of these products, no, we have just mentioned them largely, but we've not done anything about them.
Okay.
If we have done planting for food and jobs
no.
I don't think that today a bunch of plantain will be costing how much? 200?
Na say no enshada nya adwuma yi.
Enko yi.
Senya adwuma yi anya yenye yi sense e beka say be yi afi.
Okay, so that has to do with how you implement such policies. So it's not and yes say bia who can want say planting for food and jobs, but you are not doing anything. How do you make sure that farmers produce fertilizer? How do we make sure that it gets to farmers? You know, a host of things. Which policies should be looked at? I sincerely think that free SHS, for instance, has been a burden. We have not implemented it well. Can we review it? But review, no, say it is cancellation.
Okay.
That be.
Okay.
It is just send ya no. Yes, yen hwe na yen san yen yi kakra.
Ntinka obeka say sign no mo ye na ye beka say eye unsusu ye no yen review him fasa.
You see, that is why we are saying that we have said a lot of things. Senior, as I say, yembu or mine, but people have not listened. And so, senior, in Sophia by the ABA, on bed.
Now, Sophia Biaba.
I say, we are going to IMF. So it's
wow,
it means
yeah, 17th time ni. Enti ayade time ko.
So these are the issues. School feeding program. What are we doing with it?
Quite a saying so yenye won.
And then now say
because so 90 pesos per child per day. Eduane be ya na ubenya ne 90 pesos eduane papa.
But even sa 90 pesos no, how much ahina eco school no in truthfulness say a course school omudi hwe enkwala no so ebia by the time you realize beefrages when we say ebia obia you wey fi mu obia say na it will be left to, let's say, 75 pesos or 70 pesos or something like that. Can we make sure that if we say 90 pesos or 1 cedi, can that goes direct to the schools to take care of the children? That's an issue. And you see, when you implement policies well, you actually get the benefits. That comes to build the economy. A host of things, really. Cathedral is an issue.
I'm saying, Prince, Fasa, we need to so. I say, any policy analyst, Dr. Steve Mantia, Institute, no say, okay, so I'll say cut size of government to 50, not more. But one can government today. Or no, all the NSA emerging ministries in Kenya just 23 ministries. So
when you merge the ministries, you're going to cut down on
government, the number of the appointees.
Yes.
Form. Abolish all deputy director positions created in SOEs and the parastatals after 2017. State enterprises now or more deputies too. Now make catapult.
Very well.
Pot now cry and yes, you want to see you. Into so some or deputies can when you answer mama. So you say abolish all deputy director position. Reduce the number of presidential staffers. What can one say, and make free SHS progressively free. Beginning with free tuition, teaching and learning materials, and facility use. Parents pay for feeding if they opt for boarding.
So when you say you are doing a review of a certain policy, now these are the details. When you go into the policy implementation framework, what are we doing? How should we do it? To make it
Dr. Steve is so
now those are the only small treatment I can want say.
Into suggestion we
very,
but on also say ni say ya and yenkie hiam pusi ye beko IMF no I think 15 or 17 because you spoke about sinking fund other fund on also I can say abolish the prioritize ABFA expenditure to focus more on job creation and access to clean affordable energy. And on science, abolish e-levy, almighty e-levy. I will say abolish e-levy no, because that's still here scano.
So e-levy, when they started with it, I said it is not a tax that we should even consider at all. It is because senior it is like you are taxing turnover. Turnover ni say who banker ube kwa tuaska na wako iska ube tuaska na wa iska ube tuaska na wa iska at the end of the month bank no be charge you be kitwe bi from COT. It is momo tax is like COT, but that is problematic. And yet, why say and yet? Because we are trying to operate a cashless society or a less cash society. The actually say, me yen fa paper money. The fan top nyama bebre. Now so say say electronic money here. You bet me say electronic money no higher business. But you then bear with me that if I pay you electronic money, that is Momo as we call it, 1,000 cedis, it is because you have provided a service to me. Or I bought something from you. Until you take it like I come to you and I buy something like this. This thing that I buy, I pay tax on it, and the taxes are there. We have the VAT, we have this, we have that, we have that. Now I am coming to pay with Momo, and then the Momo too, you are taxing me on it. So it's a tax on turnover. We shouldn't have gone there at all. My proposal would have been, or was that we could have only said the mobile money operators, the telcos, omu will charge beer, omu charge if you send Momo.
Transactional charges,
Very good. Very well. We can negotiate with the telcos and increase that margin a little bit and then share it with them.
And Kebesiwa.
Bojo.
And Kebesiwa, it would have boiled down to the same thing.
Exactly.
No, I mean, it was still would have looked like the e-levy.
No, but in this case, no, you are sharing the income with the telcos. Until the customer is
increasing
a little bit.
Let's say bakoji 1%.
Very good.
Sa 1%, you know, e-levy neighbor ni mununti. Omusi omuni na kasa. Into your J 0.75%.
Okay.
Into si akra watiso.
Okay.
The other one I don't know. Minim ahia hoje. But bakonsu di onje kra.
Into 1%, we could have gone to them and we negotiate with them because policy initiatives is about negotiation. Oh, we can support you, increase it to 1.5%. That is the charge that you charge on, as service provider. Into this 1.5, no, we do my 0.75. Now we are 0.75. When we do it like that, it will help our cause a lot more better. So if at the end of the day, your project is say, even this amount of money from e-levy, but we get something lower than that, it's better. Do you know why? Because still people will not be discouraged from using Momo. And Momo utilization has an effect on how long we keep our paper currency.
Okay.
It makes it more durable. And you know that Bank of Ghana spends money on printing our paper currency.
Okay.
So if we can take care of the paper currency longer in the system, say, what I want to say is, from the day that Bank of Ghana will give out a certain note, bank note, Beshia system, no. How long does it go around the system before it becomes assay mutilated? Inti say, send your momo no etimima says asika no ebe lastic a crowd system no. But because you have put charge on it, people are in a way reversing from that to the usage of what? Real cash.
And your short period, you say be a later more share risk and cost a year was to say, what this can best some money idea. They will surely bounce back to the Momo.
That's just an assumption, really. Yes, I can say, oh, almost say no, after some time, no, they will come back. It doesn't really help like that,
okay.
Go like that.
See, I share $2 billion and free IMF for. A best how no, and I say, and I hear and so.
Okay, so when the letter came out from the Ministry of Information, I must say to support balance of payment difficulties. Okay, so what are the things that we need on our account so that we'll be able to run well?
Okay.
We have maturing debts coming. Sikaya, Busha yabo ebe sino. Busiano.
Ebraso.
And you see, there's the the country no. Nasem nihu wadin kakra sin individual person. Inti say hwea ebi I bet me ahwe be say a year or 2 years how things are going to turn out. Say you ready budget in 1 year. Inti within the year you say you benya say. Na you bet you say. Na aka say. Na you dey say.
Okay.
For you and I the I bet me on daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. Inti will the 2 billion be enough? In the first place, have they come out to say that that's the total amount of money help that they are going to look for? And again, when we go, as I said, we have maturing debts upcoming. 2022 way down to 2026, thereabout. I think over $3.5 billion or thereabout, which is equivalent to about 25 billion Ghana cedis at current exchange rate. If we don't hold our currency well and it continues to go down, it means that by the time we are paying the debt, we have to look for more cedis in order to buy dollar to pay for the debt. And so will it be okay? It is not something that you can easily say yes or no. Okay. But I sincerely looking at the way we have mentioned monies in this economy, yeah, we have not been able to see what exactly we've used those monies for. 2 billion, I don't know what it can do. I'm saying that I'm not sure what that money can do. me need this, because we wake up, we go to the Eurobond market and raise funds, how much? 1 billion, 1.5 billion, and then we bring it, and then in a way we find a way to put cutlass at this case. Now we have to say now we, and then we come to you know. So I am not really sure, but again, when you are on IMF treatment, if you are on their program, can say, oh, you pay this amount of money, but they will actually determine how they are going to pay those monies and for what.
Okay.
So ABR, we know, say 2022 around this time, a certain debt is maturing. They don't want you to default. You know, they are not coming to run your economy per se for you, but they know that if you default, it's too bad for you. So they want to hold that part. And only in TABR, say 500 million will be due. When it is getting due, they will release that one for you to pay. But at the same time, in your economy, now more country will say, make sure say revenue you improve it, so that you'll be making a little bit more money than you projected, and then also your expenses reduce it. So those are the in-house cleaning.
Interesting. Your moka you to me ye. Enti ebi say any ebeya yan for economy nation monza. Call it neo-colonialism. But almost say from since ye ba Fourth Republic mu ye di show monza nkakra no. Even former President Kufuor ye born about so ne time no ya de pa no okoho. Neye. Enti ne ye fan show monza. So mumu wa ha ma say police no mu police e nkrofo no ma omunya ahohye so omu sikadie no basa no esote. What do you say?
Say can is answer na ye say yaye ade no too simple. Enti sa per se. What they do ni say they have supports that they give.
Okay.
They will give you the loan, which you are going for. If they review your books and everything is okay, they will provide you with technical support. Technical support nini onuni the review areas are almost say no. But to say that they should take their armor, you know, dress and walk into the economy and start running it, they don't really do that. But at least they are policing us.
Okay.
Largely, it is good for us. You see, we have not done well with discipline.
Which of the disciplines?
Okay, so fiscal discipline.
Okay.
Discipline on, you know, the monetary front.
Okay.
Discipline on how we disburse our revenue as in fiscal, what we earn and what we use with these monies. Those are the issues that we are talking about. Inti say ebe say obi dawechi or wechi or who say as ade we ye ni pepepe ana ade we ye ni pepepe ana. I think it is not a bad idea. And so for us as Ghanaians, we should not be too panicked, but we should rather be putting pressure on our policy makers to start to do the right things.
Okay.
We as citizens, so we have to begin to behave well.
Okay.
We have to do the right things as well, because economic management gets better results when everybody is on board. Okay. We have to have leaders that will give us a little bit of, you know, encouragement and tell us the truth. And so, Omo country and say, this situation, you know, this is it. And then they encourage us. Let's go out and do something. These things will bring growth. Because somebody says that leadership is key. If we have leadership, if we have president coming to explain to us, this is it, this is that. If we have vice president who is the head of the economic management team, really talking to us on these things, I think we'll get somewhere. And you see, okay.
Oh, Doc, your time on us.
Okay.
And who do you see? No, the opposite of catch no. Who do you know very happy mami? Unfortunately.
Okay, Nanaya.
Yes, Doc.
I would say that Midasi.
Okay.
Say, he gave me the opportunity to come here. I hope that with time, no, the tree will become
better.
better, and then I'll be able to explain these things to us because they are very, very fundamental.
Okay.
I also hope that the IMF negotiations will take good shape. If we are true to ourselves on the true state of the economy, then when we are negotiating, we'll be honest with ourselves.
Okay.
If we have the love of country at heart, then when we are doing things, we'll be thinking of the citizenry. As we speak now, things are really, really tough.
On that note, yeah, the VC had Doc here, that's a part. Dr. Nene Adams Asafotei said they be a million a senior economist for UPSA and yet to IMF and common so no IMF and common from the point of view of an economist on ye amanyuni inti I hope so a church and yamemu amayate ye huasea we amanyusem ahusu bia anymore. Yada doka si na meda kuyaskis ase e watare fefefa opamami ende Friday ya miso media abeji fancy kuyaskis e ACP Estate Junction nisanu fe Facebook and Instagram oho KUYASKIS any ni din obetumi afre ni 020-836-4729 020-836-4729 obepam bia maudodo medi edi yakonoma edi chenshoma yedi wesi echina critical issues ebeba na yama ye muzemufo ni na badikade sala wesi ada sala mubidi na ejuada ehun holiday a yebe observe Tuesday edi chenshoma besia yakram